What is up, guys? Whitey by me here, and in this video we're gonna do my top 10 favorite Tyrant models. And if you have any favorite Tyrant models, make sure to leave them in the comments down below, and I'll get with you guys in the comments down below as always. So let's get right in. At number 10 we got the Snatch. The Snatch is only here at all because the idea of a low-cost Tyrant model is a pretty cool idea. And that's pretty much it. He's pretty weak. You can take him out quicker with a knife than a gun. Doesn't make any sense, but you could actually just chalk that up to the knife in Code Veronica being really strong. So maybe the Bandersnatch should be stronger outside of Code Veronica, but we can't really test that out. Maybe some modder can just drag and drop the Bandersnatch from Code Veronica into like Resident Evil 3 or Resident Evil 2 or do something close to it to see if it would be more effective if it didn't have to deal with that overpowered knife that is in Code Veronica. But yeah, it doesn't really look that cool. It's not really strong, but the concept is cool, and that's pretty much why it's here. Next up we have Talos. Talos. This guy is a giant walking meat mech with missile pods and stuff on him. He looks cool, but the concept is stupid because, you know, you can just at that point just get a tank and shoot him, or a jet to blow him up. He doesn't seem that practical as a bioweapon. I don't know what Umbrella was thinking. All of their other bioweapons before this guy, or their concept of having a humanoid looking creature go in and do stuff that would really cause problems in shadows, would be a lot better than having this, which is more like a front line, and it's just destroyed by tanks and gunfire and stuff because it's flesh and it's covered in armor and missile pods that can blow up and malfunction and stuff like that. So, no, concept's cool, but it's actually stupid. Like, it's good on paper, but practically no, it's not. It's whatever. Next up we have the Tyrant R. Tyrant R is a T103 model, so it looks like Mr. X is a Mr. X model, and the reason why he's on this list at all is because even though he looks like the T103, like smack ass like the T103, thing about him, there's two things about him that I like. He has a chip in his head that programs him, and it's easier to tell him what to do, or program him into doing certain things. And his mutation looks really badass. He looks like some kind of obsidian creature, and fighting him in Outbreak is actually a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of frustrating because he has like a running ram, and then he also has the spin attack. Man, that spin attack can insta-kill you, but he's part of Outbreak. Outbreak is a lot of fun. I hope they redo Outbreak. But Tyrant R, he's mainly here because of those two things: the computer chip and his mutation looks fucking badass. Actually 3, because it's in Outbreak, which is a really fun game, really fun multiplayer Resident Evil game. Probably the best multiplayer Resident Evil game ever. So I don't know why they just don't bring it back. The T078, the Tyrant model that pretty much everyone hates who has played a Resident Evil game or who has been in the series for a while. This guy is in Resident Evil Code Veronica, and he is the Tyrant model that you fight in the plane. Now, prior to the plane fight, he's pretty easy to deal with, but once you get in that plane and he has like his little mini mutation and he pulls out the fork, then you're in for a very, very rough time, because he is going to ruthlessly run at you and bang the floor and just utterly destroy you. And if you're not prepared, this boss can soft lock you. And this caused a lot of people to rage quit Code Veronica and lots of other things. People just hate Code Veronica mainly because of this guy. So he's up there because he is a salt shaker. And if Capcom had some kind of like tracker for what enemy killed the most players, I'm pretty sure this Tyrant model would be way up there above any other Tyrant model. Maybe under Nemesis or slightly above Nemesis. But this guy is a piece of work. I remember when I was getting hardcore into the series and I played Code Veronica, it almost took me an hour to deal with him. It was so bad. I was doing the Let's Play at the time. I made a whole video of me just dying to this guy and being very angry. I wish I still had it on YouTube, but unfortunately it's not here anymore. But yeah, the next. The Ivan, which is a Mr. X model, or T103. These guys look freaking cool, and they're relatively high up on the list because they look really cool. But honestly, that's not enough. They have like a sleek, I guess. I don't know which word is it really, so correct me if you know. But they have like a very sleek look to them. They have like a sci-fi look, or you can say they're part of some kind of like cult. And they are really strong. Like they super jump through the air. They're going toe to toe with a mutated Wesker. And it's insane just watching them just beat your ass. Or, you know, after Wesker gets more familiar with his abilities, then he's able to like beat their asses. But prior to that, they're just super jumping and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, which I've never seen a Tyrant model do outside of like Resident Evil Survivor. But these guys are crazy. Like I'm pretty sure these guys put the Hypnosis Tyrant to shame. But then again, the Hypnosis Tyrant has the freaking, you know, we'll get into that later. And would you look at that? Next up, we have the Hypnosis Tyrant, which I was just talking a little bit about. I love this Tyrant model. He would be higher if he wasn't introduced near the end of the game. He is a miniature Tyrant model, and he's Umbrella's last attempt at making a more humanoid Tyrant model that could blend in and do espionage stuff. He looks really cool. He has a nice sleek blue design. He looks very sleek. Like he looks like he's like some kind of like sci-fi creature. And he has 3 mutations, which is rare among Tyrants. So he has his human look. You beat that one pretty easily, and then he mutates. So he gets like sharp teeth and a claw. Then you beat that, and he mutates again into a big, massive like muscle claw and like just the grip of death. And he just picks you up and starts body slamming you and shit. Survivor is a really fun game, but that's a video for another time. Hypnosis Tyrant looks freaking badass. I love his design. I love his freaking 3 mutations, which is again a rare thing. Him and Nemesis are probably the only Tyrants in the series that mutate 3 times. It's incredible. So yeah, freaking Hypnosis Tyrant. Oh, let's not forget the fact that the Hypnosis Tyrant has an internal power limiter. So when you see him, you'll see that he doesn't have the jacket, and you're going to be like, oh, how the hell is he controlling his mutations? It's because the limiter is built into the body, which is freaking cool. So anyway, next we have the T002, or the Angry Eggplant. He has a very simple design. He is pretty close to my heart. He's a badass looking Tyrant. His Funko Pop looks freaking cool. His combat abilities are freaking cool. It's simple, like he kind of just runs at you and beats your ass. But he looks really cool. Too bad he's not really a Tyrant model that they modeled a lot of their Tyrants after, because he doesn't really look human, as well as the T001 prototype. This guy suffers from heavy necrosis. He's too big, not very smart. But I mean, the T002 is slightly smarter than the freaking T001, but you know, it doesn't really look too human. And again, the Hypnosis Tyrant was like the best they've ever done with a Tyrant model that is supposed to, you know, engage in espionage and stuff like that. But the Angry Eggplant is a cool looking Tyrant model, very brutal. When he hits you in the remake, I swear I can feel it. When he hits you in the original in general, when you're dealing with him in the original Resident Evil, you're just screaming. Like he's on par with the bullshit that is Resident Evil 2 OG. When you have the Super Tyrant, the Super Mr. X, and you try to pick up the rocket launcher, and he's like, bam, no, stop, bam, no, stop. Like he's pretty close. The T002 in the OG RE1 is pretty close to that. It's really annoying, but he's a cool looking model, very strong and classic, iconic design. Next up, we have the T03, or the T103, or the Mr. X model. This guy has a very simple design. I like his simple design, especially in RE2 Remake. I don't like his super form in RE2 Remake. The reason why he's up here is because it's like a mixture of RE2 Remake and RE2 OG. RE2 OG, I prefer his Super Tyrant form in RE2 OG, and how fast and how much bullshit you had to put up with when you had to deal with that one, versus the original, or not the original, versus RE2 Remake, where he has like the one arm and his face looks really messed up. He's covered in fire. I don't really like that look too much, and he's a lot easier to deal with than that one compared to the original. As the original, you just can't even breathe. You just on your ass. he's wiping your ass for you. He knocks you over and then wipe your ass for you. You can't even pick up the rocket launcher. It's so freaking bullshit. But this guy, I love him because of Super Tyrant form, and I love how they did him in RE2 Remake, where he's pretty much another Nemesis, just walks after you. He's a pursuer, constantly on the map. Of course, he teleports when you pick up key items, which is annoying. But if he didn't do that, honestly, he would get lost in the RPD because, you know, you can just juke him and then run to the other side, and he would be forever lost on the other side. So it's cool that they did that, but they also could have did something like Wesker and Code Veronica, where they dropped the Tyrant in there, and then there's like cameras and stuff, or he can like hack into the system and he can see cameras. So then you have to worry about cameras, and he can find you like that instead of them just teleporting him around. Which, it can be annoying at times, and it has caused glitches where I've dealt with 2 Mr. X's, which is not fun. Next up, we have Thanatos, or Thanos. I don't know what his name is, because all of this is just off the top of my head. Thanatos is from Resident Evil Outbreak. He is a cool looking tyrant, simple design. I didn't really think much of him until he fought the UBCS. So this is actually just coming down to feats at this point. But this dude fought the UBCS 1v like 5 and decimated them, and then left with a body to bring back to his creator, freaking Greg Mueller in Resident Evil Outbreak. And this guy, he was made, Thanatos Tyrant was made independently of Umbrella. And I still want to know what the dude used, like who did he use as the base, because all of the other T103 models are using like the same like base, or they're just clones. So what, he didn't get a base that was provided by Umbrella, he got a base from somewhere else. And he just pick up like a random guy off the street and then inject him with the progenitor, and he just happened to be compatible with the progenitor virus, and then they got Thanatos. But Thanatos is fucking awesome. He has the best boss music in the entire series, in my opinion. Like, his one song is probably way above many songs that are in freaking Resident Evil Code Veronica. Like, his song is so freaking good. His theme is so freaking good. And again, he's a cool looking tyrant, really strong. I would love to see him fight a freaking Ivan, or even the T103 Super Tyrant. This guy is incredible and very fun to fight in Resident Evil Outbreak Online, unless it's lagging. So then if it's lagging, he like kind of jumps up, disappears, or he like jumps up, lands somewhere else, and then you take damage and you're just like, what the hell just happened? So next we have, and finally we have, the T103 Nemesis. This is my favorite Tyrant model in the entire series. He is relentless. He will chase you down. He is full of shit. I hate him and I love him at the same time. And I am mostly going to be talking about Resident Evil OG. Resident Evil 3 Remake completely missed everything. In my opinion, it completely missed everything that made the original game fun. So yeah, we're mostly going to be talking about the original Nemesis. I do like the redesign of Nemesis, and I like how they added more to Jill. But Nemesis himself is better in the original game versus the new game, aside from the way the new game Nemesis looks. So OG Nemesis, he will relentlessly chase you throughout the game until you are given a break at a certain point in the game. So like the first hour and a half, he is chasing you through the game non-stop. And you have a choice to either fight him or keep running from him. And if you choose to fight him, you get cool drops. And if you choose to run from him, of course you don't get cool drops, but you get to hold on to a lot of your ammunition and stuff, which makes the later half of the game very easy. But I prefer to do the kill all Nemesis kills, like the kill all Nemesis challenge, and go through the game like that. But other than that, Nemesis looks freaking badass. He has 3 mutations like the Hypnosis Tyrant. So you got base Nemesis with the limiter, then Nemesis with the limiter destroyed, with the tentacles coming out of his arm, and the parasite coming out of his neck and stuff like that. And you got the third one, which technically he only has 2, but then you have the third one where he is injured and the parasite feeds on a tyrant, and then he mutates into this giant shit thing with a weird mouth and shooting acid, and has an eyeball thingy on his back. That one's not as cool. My favorite Nemesis is Form 2. That one is fucking badass, dude. Like, why didn't they keep that one for the remake. Like, my favorite scene in RE3 was when you're coming back from the hospital as Carlos, and then the camera goes to the wall, and then Nemesis is just banging on the freaking concrete wall, and he comes barging through the freaking wall. This slow motion jump lands right in front of you and starts beating your ass. Oh man, I freaking love Nemesis, dude. In the original, he looks so badass. He is badass. Love him so much. Love that game so much. But anyway, that's it with this video. Let me know your top 10 favorite Tyrant models in the comments down below, and I'll get with you guys in the comments down below. And if you like this video, remember to subscribe and hit the bell button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.